Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello to all AFM students. Hussain Qazi here, facilitator for the subject AFM, SBR and FM. AFM students, you must have to aware that ACCA examining team has introduced a new development that's applicable from September 24. But that particular development, it's not very extensive. A small development, no? And that's highlighted here. ACCA examining team has introduced a rearranged formula structure to calculate cost of equity by Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2. But mark my word, if you're able to learn this rearranged formula, you will find that this is a shortcut method. You can save your time. Actually, ACCA examining team has introduced this rearranged structure to provide a smart solution to you that you can use through the spreadsheet form. That you can use during examination on a spreadsheet. Try to understand the psychology of the AFM examiner. Answer me. The spreadsheet function available for IRR, MIRR, and what else you want, the BSOP calculator also available. Further, you can calculate easily the NPV. Easily NPV shortcut function. What else you want? You can easily calculate beta equity, beta asset. Although there is no shortcut formula to calculate beta equity and beta asset, but smartly calculate the beta asset equity with the spreadsheet function and save your time as compared to attempt with manually and just written the value on the spreadsheet. Don't do that. Learn the spreadsheet function. Professional skill marks also belongs to use the spreadsheet functions. And number two, if you use the spreadsheet function, you will be able to save your time for calculation. And this same time, the saving of the time you can invest for the theoretical content of the exam. Although theoretical content point is not the agenda point of this particular session, but I must say here, you have to develop the mechanism of your preparation and revision in a manner to invest your time 50 to 55% theory, 45 to 50% calculation, because you will face the exam with the same proportion. So that's a point. So the conclusive point, the rearranged formula to calculate cost of equity by Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2, it's actually a smart method to calculate. A smart method of calculation. So let's start a session by setting the agenda. There are three specific points of this agenda. Point number one, we will discuss how many methods are available to calculate the cost of equity. Number two, out of these methods, how to calculate K by new rearrangement method of Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2. And the last, third point, the answer for the confusion. How do students pick between CAPM or MM Proposition 2 for K during examination? So these 3 points we will cover. So let's start quick, Quick, cost of equity. There are 3 methodologies to calculate the cost of equity. Number 1, DVM, number 2, CAPM, number 3, Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2. One by one. Very simple. The first method to calculate the K is through the dividend valuation model. It's a simple formula. K is equal to D naught. You need to take out the value of the D naught, current dividend. Then you need to find out the growth. If it's not available, you can calculate by Gordon model or by historical mean method. And then identify the P naught. If it's available, that's good. Otherwise, you need to find out the PO as well, current market value share. It's a very simple method. So calculation of K by dividend valuation model, it's about to calculate K without considering the risk. But on the other hand, the another method to calculate the K it's by CAPM, capital asset pricing model. Capital asset pricing model. If you wanted to calculate K with the geared beta, then you need to apply formula risk-free rate plus risk premium multiplied by beta equity. If you wanted to calculate K but ungeared K, ignoring the financial risk, then you need to calculate risk-free plus risk premium into beta asset. That is called ungeared beta. Although there are complications for the working of beta asset, yes, there are the complications. Complications, that's about if you wanted to find out the geared beta equity. So the process called N, the beta asset is available. So the process called ungeared beta, that means beta asset to geared beta, that is beta equity. If you wanted to find out ungeared beta, that means you need to find out beta asset and the beta equity is available. So it's about geared to ungeared beta. That's a point. This is the formula of the beta asset. You know, normally we use the same formula. Beta asset is equal to beta equity multiplied by equity value divided by equity value plus debt value multiplied by 1 plus x. And debt beta in majority of the time is 0. If it's available, then the formula will extend accordingly. So that's the point about the CPM. Okay, let's take out some basic example. Let's take out some basic examples. If there is an example about ungeared beta to geared beta, that means beta asset is available. Here the market value of equity, market value of debts is available, tax rate 25%, and you need to find out the beta equity. So how to calculate the beta equity? It's very simple. Is equal to beta asset, apply the above formula, divided by equity, market value of equity, divided by market value of equity plus market value of debts multiplied by 1 minus 0.25. So that's you can easily work out. If the data are available here, it's just 5 to 10 seconds to calculate the beta equity. There's no shortcut function, but with a one cell, you can work out accordingly. It's very simple. So number 2, if the calculations about geared to ungeared, if there are some complications about geared to ungeared, with same formula here, but you need to rearrange. You need to rearrange is equal to here beta. If beta equity are available, let's need to arrange beta equity multiplied by bracket open 600 divided by 600 plus this 400 multiply by simple 1 minus, that's simple. Just you need to make a practice here. You just do practice 2 or 3 times, you will become master. Just avoid manual working. Just avoid calculator based working. You need to invest time to do practice for this. So this is what about CAPM. But the point is that where you can apply CAPM to find KE. A very simple answer. If the question in your mind where you can apply CAPM to find KE, the answer is if beta information is available, either proxy beta or the industry beta methods, if the beta information is available, within the question, then you will apply CAPM to find out the K. That's very simple. But the point is that, sir, the third one is about Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2. Yes, this is the third point. Now, this is the point. Let's start. Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2 for the calculation of K. So we will work out an example with old structure and the new rearranged structure. And mark my word, you have to use the new rearranged structure. So let's take out one example. This is an example. First of all, read this example very carefully. MJ Co is a company with 20-80 debt equity ratio. The capital structure 20% debts, market value based, 80% equity. Cost of equity has been calculated 12%. Sir, if it's mentioned KE, that means geared with the geared beta, cost of equity with geared beta, that's 12%. It is considering raising some debt finance to change the gearing ratio 25 debts and 75% equity. And the company's cost of debt is 4% and the tax rate is 30%. Calculate the cost of equity in MJ company after refinancing. After refinancing means with the new capital structure of debt 25, equity 75. That is the question. Do remember, this question will attempt in a manner. First, we will work out to calculate the KE ungeared. Although currently the company is 20 debts, 80 equity. First, make a filter of debts, means calculate the KE totally ungeared, that's without financial risk. And then incorporate the 25% debts and 75% equity. So we will be able to do practice with both things. Calculation of MM Proposition 2 or about K ungeared and K geared both. With old structure and with new structure as well. So that is what about the layout or mechanism I will perform here. So let's start. First, the very first thing, we will work out with the old structure. And this is the highlighted point about old structure. This is the old structure. And that will also be available with the exam sheet. Don't worry about that. K is equal to KEI 1 plus 1 minus T KEI minus KD or VD divided by KE. So this, let's work out with the old structure. Number one, make a clear understanding what is about question. This is the company current structure. Debts 20%, market value base, equity 80%, tax rate 30% here, 30%. KD 4%, KE 12%. Now the company revised structure become debts 25%, equity 75% with market value, tax rate 30%, KD 4%, but they wanted to apply the revised cost of equity. The revised cost of equity with the new debt structure. So we will do the working with these steps. we will do with these steps. Sir, what are these steps? K, first we will calculate K ungeared. Then we will calculate the K geared with revised structure. With this method, Now come on. One by one. The first thing, the first important thing. First thing, KE ungeared, that is KEI. With this formula, K ungeared means the variable called KI. So this is the formula, very basic, this is the formula. And we just incorporate the numbers. K is 0.12, 0.12 is equal to KI 1 minus 0.3 multiplied by KEI minus 0.04 multiplied by 28. And any of the student wanted to identify or calculate KEI have to follow these algebraic steps. These algebraic steps, that is the old method, have to follow the rearrangement, the algebraic methods. Some of the students do this calculation manually. Some of the students, very rare students, do the calculation through the calculator. I know that. But if you do manually, and the previous exam recommendation was that have to mention some steps, here. So that means examiner was saying with the previous structure that have to show some manual working with the spreadsheet. Okay. So number 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you will be able to calculate 10.8. With this session, I'm not calculating exactly, or I'm not showing I'm not working exactly, but you can find it accordingly. That is 10.8. With the old structure, there was no smart way. Do remember, there was no smart way to calculate 10.8. But with the question structure, okay, this 0.108 or the 10.8% is KI, that is 100% equity finance. 100% equity finance. But, and what about the next point, sir? Because we have covered ungeared, but what about the geared? The same formula we will use to calculate geared K, but with this case, the revised capital structure. With the revised capital structure, come on. For the revised capital structure, if you wanted to calculate the K, so this is K 12.37. You have already calculated the KEI, that is 10.8. If you wanted to calculate K with a new capital structure, that is 2575. So these algebraic steps that you need to mention here. But students, with the previous version, with the same formula, this formula, with this formula, if you wanted to calculate the K geared, if the KI is given, the simple smart solution you can use, instead of showing these working, you can just find this 12.37 directly is equal to 0.108. For example, this is equal, if wanted to, K is equal to this. is equal to 0.108 plus 1 minus 0.3 multiply by 0.108 minus 0.04 multiply by 25 divided by 75. That's directly the 0.13. Same. You can work out directly. Don't worry, this Excel file will be available to you. Don't worry about that. So here with this working, a smart solution is available. I'm not saying the shortcut, but the smart solution here is available. So do remember, with the old Modigliani-Miller formula structure, if someone calculate or need to identify KEI, so detailed algebraic method you need to work out or at least show 1 or 2 steps, even though you are working with the calculator. But with the old structure, if you wanted to calculate the KE here, still the still the smart solution that was available. That is the point. But if we are working with the new structure, with the working of the new structure, now apply the above case with the new structure. Apply the above case with the new structure. Same case. And the company wanted to calculate the K with 25.75 debt equity market value. So how to calculate? So first thing is that the number one, calculate the K ungeared. Calculate the K ungeared. Here the examiner says that, now this is the key point of this session, how you will calculate. Here examiner says that there is a rearranged version, that is left hand side and right hand side. The left hand side is K plus 1 plus T KD VD upon V is equal to right hand side KEI, that is ungeared K, plus 1 plus T KEI ungeared K VD on V. So the steps examiner says here, first need to calculate the left hand side. First have to calculate the left hand side. So how to calculate the left hand side is equal to %12% plus 1 minus tax rate, that is 0.3 multiply by 0.04 multiply by 4% multiply by 20 divided by 80. That is the left hand side. This is the left hand side. And then calculate the right hand side. Calculate the right hand side. Listen carefully. What about the right hand side? The right hand side here, we have done the left hand side. This portion we have done. Now the another point is this one. that is KEI plus 1 minus 0.3 multiplied by KEI, where we don't know about the KEI, 20 divided by new structure, 20 divided by 80. Then you need to identify KEI plus, listen carefully, very important. KEI plus 1 minus 0.3, that is 0.7. KEI multiplied by 20 divided by 80, that is equal to 0.25. Sir, how do you know that? Is equal to 20 divided by 80, 0.25. Then KEI plus 0.18. Sir, what is 0.18? Just a minute. KEI 0.18 is equal to 0. Apply BODMAS rule. First need to multiply 0.7 multiplied by 0.25. So this is 0.175. Or you can apply the 1.18. Leave it. 1.8. So here 1.18 K. That is 1 KEI. Here this is 1 KEI. Huh? So here 1.18 KEI. So sir, you have done the left side, you have done the right side, you have done the left hand side and the right hand side. Yes, now you need to calculate KEI is equal to KEI is equal to 0.127 left hand side divided by 1.18 is equal to 0.127 divided by 1.18, and that is 10.8, the same value. What is the same value? The same value you used with the old method, 10.8%. That is the 10.8%. Sir, you did it, but it's also too extensive, especially these algebraic method, because you were saying at the start of the session, you said at the start of the session, there was some shortcut. Where is the shortcut? Relax. Relax. First, this is what about the arrange structure. But the rearrange structure, you can use a smart way. A smart way. Like you have used the left hand side very smartly as previous. Very smart. Is equal to, just use the cursors. Is equal to B96 plus 1 minus 0. B96, it's about K plus 1 minus 0.3 multiplied by B95 is KD. Multiplied by B93, that is 20, that's B94 equity. That's all. Same you can apply something about right hand side. Now listen carefully. Very basic maths. Is equal to 1 about KE1 plus 1 minus 0.3. And you can mention 0.7 directly. Multiply by 20 divided by 80. The answer will change. Sir, once again, yes, why not? Sure. Is equal to 1 plus 1 minus 0.3. Bracket goes multiply by 20 divided by 80. The right hand answer, that's same. The right hand answers remain same. That's remains same. 1.1. That's remains same. This is what about the algebraic shortcut method. If you drill down the things, you will easily identify why I'm using the 1 and not using the k. But ignore this point. You can use this shortcut and save the time for this right hand side. Detail work. Just mention 1. Always use 1 plus 1 minus 3. That's text. Adjustment multiply by capital structure. 20 divided by 80. And then identify KEI. Simple. Is equal to 1.18 divided by 1.27. Sorry. This is what about the values. 10.8%. That is a point. This is what about the calculations of KEI with a smart way. Sir, what about the KE? Students, listen carefully. If someone asks me, calculate KE with new structure, the answer is no. What does that mean? I will say same as above. Same as above. What does that mean? Because the issue was not related to geared KE. Smart calculation working, it's not the matter of concern for KE. With the previous structure, you can use smartly to identify the KE, geared KE with MM proposition 2. Just ignore all these and quickly calculate this. Ignore all these, just quickly calculate this. Directly calculate this. Quickly calculate this. You don't need to mention formula on a spreadsheet. You don't need to mention the step. Just mention just work out on the cell and your answer will identify. So at final, I must say, if this is the formula sheet, this rearranged structure is actually for the shortcut methodology or a smart methodology to calculate KI. Or if you wanted to calculate KE, you will use the same previous method. I know that there will be a question, sir, with the formula sheet, both structure will be available. Yes, the team has introduced the another formula. The team has not, here it's not mentioned that the previous version has ignored. So I must say, old structure, you must use the old structure to calculate the KE, that's geared KE. If you wanted to find out ungeared KE, you can use the smartly the rearranged structure. That's a point. Two last points. Number one, sir, do let us know where can these proposition method we can use with the examination with respect to the topic of AFM. With respect to the AFM topic, application of MM proposition 2 for AFM exam. Number one, yes, for APV, for sure APV. There was a question that's called triple time. Even the ACCA published a video where the content used of the same, that's triple time. So APV for sure, but also with respect to the complication of WAG anywhere in the exam. Anywhere exam. It's not necessarily only for APV. Maybe for the acquisition merger. Maybe for an NPV calculation where you need to identify the KE ungeared and the information available about the proxy company. Like you do with the APV. Okay, brighter chances for APV, but not necessary. So this application of MM proposition 2 applicable anywhere. Other way around, if I say that ignore MM proposition 2, where K use, you must say that so KE can be used either for APV, for NPV, for advanced WAG, effect to the acquisition merger, business reorganization, anywhere. So if KE used anywhere, so K geared or ungeared complication can be used either with CAPM or either with Modigliani-Miller Proposition 2. That's a point. Sir, another question. CAPM, where we will use CAPM versus MM Proposition 2. Very clear and very categorically, as I have told you earlier. If beta information is available, then you will use CAPM method. We will use. Otherwise, MM Proposition 2. If you wanted to calculate K with the complication of the beta and with the complication of the risk and all the things, and the beta related informations are available, you must have to use the CAPM method to calculate K. If you wanted to calculate the K, consider the risk, but there is no information about the beta, you have to use the MM Proposition 2. That is all about the session. I hope that's very valuable for you. If you really get any valuable insight about the session, do comment me with this video. Further, the spreadsheet, this particular Excel sheet is available at the description side of this video. Don't worry about that. Further, I will also add the link of ACCA supported video that's available for all the students. You also need to watch that particular video as well. If you have any question, you can coordinate me on the WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number 00923218271784. Thank you very much. And don't forget, your paper structure will be 50-55% theory, 45-50% calculation. So have to develop mechanism for the revision and calculation with this same manner. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.